I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club making moves.
Jake Paul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua has finally spoken out after Jake Paul's new training footage exploded across social media, with fans analyzing every slow-motion punch and power combo from Paul's latest camp clip. Joshua's reaction has added even more fuel to the rising excitement. As a former unified heavyweight champion, AJ isn't someone who gets impressed easily, but he's clearly watching closely. And with Paul appearing sharper, quicker, and more disciplined than ever, Joshua's response signals both respect for Paul's progress and confidence that his own experience will dominate when they finally meet on fight night.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price.
Agree with you.
On it in order to.
Back when Paul was still cutting his teeth in boxing, Joshua gave what many saw as a surprisingly cordial endorsement during a 2025 interview. When asked about Paul, Joshua simply said, "He's good for boxing." That early remark showed he was willing to acknowledge Paul's impact on boosting public interest in the sport, even if many question Paul's long-term potential. Fast forward to now, the fight is no longer theoretical, and the stakes have skyrocketed. Paul, holding a 12-1 record with 7 KOs, enters the ring facing the toughest test of his career. Joshua, the former unified heavyweight world champion, brings a 28-4 record into the showdown.
Anthony Joshua now. How do you think that's going to go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to Jake Paul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm saying like within like 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on. I've never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that's huge too.
Yeah,
I mean, they're both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you gotta hear the story. You gotta get Francis Ngannou in here and hear the story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real. I believe
on that fight?
Yeah, I believe him. Cause here's what they do, like what sometimes what people don't understand. Like in boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. You know, when you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room. It's like
during their first public face-off at the November 21st press conference, Joshua didn't hold back. He highlighted the professionalism of the bout, stressing that it's massive, colossal, and a major sporting event blending star power with real skill. He made it clear that his mindset is locked in on the fight, no mercy. At the same press conference for their December 19th showdown, Paul was asked what weight he expects to come in at. He explained that he had recently been cutting weight for another fight, meaning he'd been focused on dropping pounds, which makes the move into this heavyweight clash more demanding. He estimated he would weigh somewhere between about 215 pounds and 225 pounds.
Nothing negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good. But I'm fighting the Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here, because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was gonna do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything, so this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens, and I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, you know, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally, and I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think, and I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep, and so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw on the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post-weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case. But my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't know. You stumped me on that one. What is 111?
Jake Paul says this fight is his moment to silence every critic who has claimed he only chooses smaller or washed-up opponents. He insists that by taking on Anthony Joshua, a true heavyweight and former world champion, he's finally proving he belongs at the sport's highest level. According to Paul, once he beats Joshua, every doubt disappears. No one can deny me. The Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua showdown will be a fully sanctioned professional heavyweight bout under Marquis of Queensberry rules. They'll compete over 8 rounds, each 3 minutes long, and both fighters will wear 10-ounce gloves. Importantly, Joshua must weigh in at no more than 245 pounds, adding a strict cap to keep the matchup competitive. A winter defeat will count on both fighters' official records. This is the real deal.
A real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight. The world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance.
Teddy Atlas has a cautiously intrigued perspective on the Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua matchup. While he warns that it could be a step too far for Paul due to the massive gap in skill and experience, he doesn't write the fight off completely. He highlights Joshua's recent knockout defeat and extended layoff, suggesting that a few ghosts in his attic might leave him exposed. Even while admitting that Joshua is still the sharper and more powerful puncher, Atlas says he's willing to see what happens, because the real question is which version of AJ will walk into the ring.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and...
Ryan Garcia talks about the potential life-changing consequences Jake Paul could face if he loses. He notes that Joshua's power is nothing to overlook, and a defeat could impact Paul not just physically in the moment, but also in terms of his reputation and overall career path. The experience could reshape him completely, underscoring the massive challenge ahead. Garcia stresses that Joshua's punching power and technical skill make this matchup a true test, and the consequences of failure are real. Training, preparation, and sharp awareness are essential if Paul hopes to handle the dangers Joshua brings into the ring. One major concern surrounding Joshua taking on Jake Paul is that AJ has only competed twice in the last 2 years. After a split decision loss to Alexander Usyk in 2022, Joshua's schedule has been far more inconsistent.
Anthony Joshua?
By far?
Yeah. Too easy.
Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy and I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him.
Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua isn't just a massive gamble. Many experts believe it's a serious risk to his health. Boxing insiders like Ariel Helwani have warned that Joshua's raw power and veteran experience could put Paul in real danger, pointing to Joshua's history of brutal knockouts as a legitimate concern.
7 fights, has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke shop in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury for crying out loud. Can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, like, nothing's gonna no doubt's gonna disappear.
Rising heavyweight Moses Itama even urged Paul to prioritize his health over the payday, warning that one misjudged punch could lead to long-term consequences. Meanwhile, former pro Amir Khan bluntly stated that Joshua could seriously hurt him, the kind of damage that could even risk brain injury.
Spark him out in like 2 rounds. Really? Yeah, why do you look surprised when I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying. Come on, bro. You're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat styles there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you can't be surprised if AJ's going to do the same to what's it called again?
MMA fighter Darren Till has weighed in on the controversy, calling Jake Paul's challenge to Anthony Joshua disrespectful. He believes that Paul, despite his strong marketing game, has not earned the right to go after one of boxing's biggest names. Many within the boxing world agree with Till, arguing that Paul is stepping far beyond his level.
Is it all just, does he actually believe that he can beat Anthony Joshua? Is it all for clout? Is it all just to keep his... I don't know. I mean, fucking... It's a little bit disrespectful as well. Like, Anthony Joshua hasn't fucking been a heavyweight world champion, beating all these absolute killers just to get called out by Jake Paul. But look, if Jake Paul believes in himself, then, you know, you can't really fault that. Like, obviously, but sometimes it comes across a bit delusion as well. Because I know for a fact that I'd fight Jake, I'd beat him up easy.
David Haye has delivered a stark warning about the upcoming Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul showdown, labeling it a clear mismatch. Speaking to Sky News, Haye argued that Joshua could inflict devastating damage on Paul and voiced serious concern for Paul's safety. He bluntly suggested that if Paul underestimates Joshua's size, power, and experience, the fight could turn into his last day on Earth. The physical gap between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul is enormous. Joshua stands 6 feet 6 inches with an 82-inch reach, while Paul is about 6 feet 1 inch with a 76-inch reach. Joshua usually weighs around 240 to 245 pounds, and for this fight he's capped at 245. In contrast, Paul has spent most of his career as a cruiserweight and has only bulked up to around 227 for his past heavyweight appearances. This size and weight advantage gives Joshua a major edge in both power and reach.
Fight, £100 million potentially. Are you confident it'll happen?
I wasn't confident when I first heard about it. It sounds like one of those fairy tale fights that people talk about but don't actually get over the line. I heard this 3-4 months ago. I just dismissed it. I heard it a week ago. I went along with it, but deep down I thought this isn't going to happen. And today it's been made official. Jake Paul is going to get in a ring in a boxing match, boxing gloves, to mix it with one of the most dangerous heavyweights on the planet. Someone who is Olympic gold medalist, won the heavyweight championship twice. Although he lost his last fight against a very good Daniel Dubois, he's a top 10 heavyweight on the planet versus internet sensation, someone who's a latecomer to boxing and has boxed at a very moderate level. I'm talking domestic level, and he lost to Tommy Fury, for instance. And Tommy Fury, who he lost to, versus Anthony Joshua, they're two completely different sports. So I commend Jake Paul for putting himself in harm's way, because boxing is a dangerous game. People have died in the ring. People have been seriously injured, maimed. And he believes in himself enough to do it on a massive scale, because it's not about the money. He's got enough money. This is him wanting to push the boundaries of reality. He's manifested an amazing life for himself. He's a superstar, and I think he wants to try and do the unthinkable. He wants to. It's an insane challenge he put himself up for, but you've got to give him credit.
You say an insane challenge. You've described it before as Jake Paul being a cat versus Anthony Joshua's lion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not equally matched on any sense, are they?
There's not one element of their boxing skill set that Jake Paul can come 15, 20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other. And Anthony Joshua, he's not a bodybuilder. He's a prime athlete. He's someone who's dedicated his life to this. He lives it. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's a real clean athlete who is going to inflict some horrendous damage to Jake Paul. And I hope we've got a referee in there who's quite compassionate, because if Jake Paul is left, up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua...
On the other hand, Joshua's team is counting on a fast and ruthless finish. Hearn has confidently predicted that Paul will be wiped out within 4 rounds, insisting that the moment Joshua lands a clean shot to the chin, the fight is done. He has framed the matchup as a necessary move for Joshua to rebuild his profile and position himself for an even bigger showdown in 2026, possibly against someone like Tyson Fury. Once again, the spotlight is shifting back toward top-tier heavyweight competition.
AJ versus Jake Paul. Not gonna lie, did not ever see this happening, like ever, ever, ever. So, were you just as surprised when he agreed to do it as the world was?
Yeah, I mean, I had to deal with obviously knowing that it might happen, and then the contract coming through signed by Jake Paul, and I sort of looked at it, I was like, oh my God, he's done it. So yeah, look, I have to give him credit. I do think he's crazy. I think he's got absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces.
Do you think Jake's crazy?
Yeah, I mean totally. I mean, listen, for us, we received an offer that was massive money and a really easy fight. We were talking about fighting this week here in an 8-round fight. Now we're fighting in an 8-round fight for 40 times more money against Jake Paul. So I love the opportunity.
Is Jake Paul truly in dangerous territory stepping in with Anthony Joshua?